Hi guys, welcome back to the Daily Gorge. Thank you for joining me. If you could, please hit subscribe, like, and consider hyping the video if you think the content is worthy. Now let's get into this. Today's topic, I want to talk about too old to be hired. Ageism is real, okay? So obviously this applies to older workers. And when I say older workers, again, this is a perspective thing. So it could be that you're in your early 60s. It could be that you're in your 50s and sometimes in your 40s. So it seems like these companies are shaving the age limit sooner and sooner and sooner. So for all of you younger adults out there, y'all need to pay attention to this because you do not want to end up where I have actually ended up, and so many of the people that I know have ended up, okay? When you're growing up, you think, oh, that's never going to happen to me. Like, for instance, and I'll just use a couple of examples. You see older people and you're like, how can they not afford to live on Social Security? Right? That's what it's there for. And you think Social Security is going to be this huge check, and for some it is, but for others it's not. It's not even enough to pay rent. So then they have that gap of paying all their other bills. And you think, oh, well, when I get to be that age, this is how younger people think because I was a younger person. I'm not going to let that happen to me. Just like I thought, oh, when I get to that age, I'm not going to gain weight. I'm not going to allow myself to gain weight. I'm always going to work out. Well, it did not happen that way. It's a little thing called life, and life gets in the way. And for me, it was a series of very serious illnesses that did not allow me to work out. And then the medications given for those illnesses, they actually compounded the issue. And everyone's like, well, why can't you just do Ozempic or a drug similar to that? I cannot do that because of my issue with my thyroid. So it's a no-go for me. I'm not even going to attempt it. And also, sometimes movement's hard. It's difficult. You think when you get older, you're just going to stay in shape and you're not going to happen. And you have this vision of all these older people that are bicycling and swimming and very active. And there's some that are, and congratulations to them. Normally, those people have not, and I'm going to say normally because there's always an asterisk. There's always someone that does fit that category that did have a serious illness. And somehow they were able to work out. I can think of a few that I've seen on YouTube. And so here you are. Maybe you're in your 50s. Maybe you're in your early 60s. So you're too young to retire, but you're too old to be looked at seriously from a company. Matter of fact, their applicant tracking systems and the systems that they use, the AI systems, weed older people out. The hiring managers or the HR recruiter never even sees them. Never even sees them. The only way that you're going to get a job, like none of the big companies are going to hire you. I can't even tell you. And I have a little bit of knowledge with HR. I was a manager and my degree is in business with an HR minor. And I kind of know how HR operates. I know how they work. And they will tell you all day long, oh no, we don't do that. That's illegal. They do. Ageism is real. And it's becoming an issue, a big issue. And our government, whether they choose to see it and whether they choose to know about it, is a totally different thing. So when I say government, I'm not talking party line here. I'm not talking Republican or Democrat. I'm talking collectively our government as a whole. If you want a political channel, slide on over to another channel. This isn't going to be that. So ageism is real, and it's hurting a lot of people. Now, I was driving 2 days ago, and I saw a little old man and his wife pushing a cart. They were obviously both homeless. And they were on the opposite side of a large, really busy street. And I was going one way and they were coming another. You don't typically see that, but you're seeing that more and more. You're seeing older people being displaced from their homes, from their families, from their jobs, not able to take care of themselves, not able to support themselves, and it's becoming this big issue. Now, there was a push, I want to say about, oh goodness, I can't remember when it started. All the companies needed to lay off and let go or encourage their older workers to leave because they needed all the younger workers to be able to come in, get jobs so they could pay their student loans. Well, hello. How about an older worker who went back to school just to get a degree so they would be marketable after 50? They still have student loans, guys. Not everyone that has student loans is young. So there are still people out there. I'm one of them. I went back and finished my degree after 50, and it just worked out that way. I saw where the market was heading, and I knew I needed to go back, so I had to make it a priority in my later years. Did I want to go back to school? Oh, heck no. No. I would rather work all day long than go back to school. School was a necessary evil for me. You know, you don't really learn anything in school. Everything is learned on the outside. So it's a bunch of busy work and it costs a whole lot of money. Let me know in the comments if you're possibly one of those individuals that went back in their later years to get your degree. And if you did, do you have student loans still attached to that? Ageism is alive and well, again. And it hurts because every time you get let go from a job, it takes longer and longer and longer to get a job, if you can even get a job. I have a friend. He got a technical degree, and he's like this engineer tech, and he worked for very large companies, which we all know of. And he was there 5 years, and they just came in and swept the whole company of older people. They laid off, I think, one younger person just so a lawsuit could not be brought. So it happens. And I want y'all to listen as far as, oh, that's not going to be me. I don't care how many degrees you could have a PhD, and it could be you. So pay attention. Because if I would have been able to tell my 20-year-old self this, and I would have been able to know, hindsight's 20/20, right? I think I would have done things a little differently. As a matter of fact, I know I would have done things a little differently, but sometimes things aren't in our control at all. We might get ill with a serious illness. We might get, one of our family members might get ill. We might have to take care of an aging parent or something like that. So let me know in the comments down below. Have you in your lifetime ever experienced ageism? Let me know a couple of the details, how old you were, how long it took you to get a job, if you could get a job, and I will see you in the next one.